Welcome everybody. See, we got John and Dawn and Logan, Dan, Sergio, Diane, Tara, Diana, Pauline, Rex, Kay, Gary. Good to see everybody. How's it going? Everybody enjoying the new president? Getting a little crazy. And wow. Yeah, if you want to join me on the stream here and chat, say hey, good morning, be able to, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. If you want to be able to make requests when we get to that part of the show, click the button. Be a subscriber on the channel right here. Click the button, my logo, overlay, be a subscriber. A few seconds later, you can chat with us. And welcome, Darren. Welcome, David, Jan, Ivan. Hey, everybody. Trump is back, and he's throwing out executive orders like crazy. And good thing, bad thing, I don't know. Biden put out like tons of them too right before he left office. And yeah, I think it's funny. So Biden pardons 2,500 people, many of them on death row. No big deal. Trump pardons 1,500 people for January 6th stuff. Many of them just guilty of trespassing, and it's all over the news. I don't know. Double standard, whatever. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. I don't get into politics. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy chasing it down. It's like, why is that such a big deal when last week we were letting it go people on death row? I don't know. It interrupted, I think I was watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy when they did a breaking news. Trump is about to sign this executive order. And I was like, who cares? Let's get on to stuff that, yeah, violent crime on any side. But trespassing, not a violent crime. If you're on death row, arguably you did something to be a violent crime, right? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, moving on. There are executive orders that have to do with tariffs and that have to do with collecting tariffs and collecting fees from foreign bodies, and those will have an impact on the economy. They won't necessarily have a direct impact on trading. So executive orders will matter. We'll see. There's more than I think anybody can keep track of at this point. I certainly have just been hitting the highlights as highlights come available. Nothing I thought was worthy of talking about yet. I mean, besides just the ridiculousness of things that have already happened. And remember, we traders like to have a short-term memory. 8 years ago, we had the same person taking office, and every time he tweets, there's bots that go crazy and it causes volatility. You can get in a trade, all of a sudden, tweet just happens to cover whatever you got into. Volatility up, volatility down. That's the big warning I've got, is that he's a social media person. The bots love to follow what he says and then react to it. And that can be a very quick stop out. And when you zoom out a little bit, it didn't even matter. Like the stuff just keeps on going on the path. So that's my warning to everybody. All right. That you've got to shift that mindset that there can be volatility. A tweet can make the difference in what you got going on. Now, the one executive order that did kind of, it seemingly mattered, was to end EV tax credits. Now, this is a game of 3D chess here. Elon was pushing for that. It's not that Trump is going against Elon. That's the mainstream media narrative. Elon was pushing for this idea. Elon didn't think that EVs should be subsidized anyway. One of the only profitable BEV, battery electric vehicle producers, is Tesla. Everybody else is riding on these subsidies to make their vehicle profitable. I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful thinking. You know, this is Elon getting tough on the rest of the industry, pricing people out. So be careful here. That's an executive order that seemingly, you know, it's not an immediate play, but it's going to matter. It's going to matter. Now we have tons of earnings ramping up. We have Netflix coming out this week. We have more bank-related earnings, more financial-related earnings coming out. Some of the credit card companies. Next week we have Tesla kicking off. Big tech to follow. Usually we see money flow out of financials as they report earnings into big tech. Then we get big tech reporting earnings. Then we see that money dispersed through the markets for the quarter. There's tons of earnings coming for the next several weeks. So be careful on earnings. There's nothing I'm really expecting to happen except volatility. So be careful out there. All right. Now, we'll take 30 minutes of request after we go through some highlights and get going. And I'm not here to talk politics, William, so you'll have to take that question to a different channel. That's not what I'm really here to talk about. Decisions that directly affect things we're trading. I have a relatively large position in Tesla, so that does matter. Now, as we get into trading, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, all right? Just because I'm in it, just because I trade it, just because I said it, doesn't mean it's going to work. I may never get another trade right again, may never get another prediction right again. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. And if you desire that personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. That's not me. I don't pretend to be one on YouTube. I don't pretend one to be off of YouTube. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know what the best trade for you is, all right? I don't know what the best decision is. I can tell you what I might do if I was in a similar situation, but I don't know all of your particulars, and I don't want to know, and frankly, I don't want you to tell me. So, be careful. Hire somebody that can do that if you can't make your own decisions, all right? If you're just getting started in this whole game, paper trade. It's a really smart thing to do. Now, tomorrow coming up, Wednesday is not really a big day of U.S. economic news. Thursday, we get some unemployment, and we get Mr. Trump, President Trump, speaking right here at 11. And it's colored a red event. It'll probably be a red event. That'll be one of his first speeches after taking office here. What's he speaking on? That's a good question. Let's see if it says, due to speak at the World Economic Forum. So yeah, that ought to be interesting. Right there. That could be impactful. Be careful. Crude oil inventory also coming out right there on the 11th. And Trump already signing an executive order. Another one that has to do something with that. He signed an executive order that it is our priority to refill the strategic petroleum reserve that has basically been sitting on critical empty levels, basically below our treaty levels. I think if you get into it, we by treaty we are obligated to maintain a certain level of oil unless we're in war times or in emergency times, and we have depleted our strategic petroleum reserves below that level, and nobody's really giving a crap. Like everybody's just, whatever. Not a good thing. So production and refilling that strategic petroleum reserve as a national security interest is a priority. So this will be interesting over the next several years. So lots of things cooking, and this is just the beginning. I mean, we're only like a day and a couple hours in here. We've got 1,200 or 1,300 and whatever more days of this. So good luck to us, right? All right, the market being a little interesting today. Jumping over early, I was concerned. I have to admit, I was concerned. Take the inauguration off here. I was concerned as we open the market, especially in ES. Turns out we did pretty good. We're getting above the level, but we're not breaking out yet. I really need to see this on up above this level up here. On up above that. Really want to see that reach that level, kind of get the confirmation we're going higher. Now, moving on higher than the level I highlighted this morning. That's that little blue line right there. If you missed the morning show, right there, I said we got to get above that. That's the first hint. We're going to continue higher. We pushed above that about noon 45 Eastern time. A little bit of back test and then moving up into the close. So far, so far. Yeah, and that's exactly right, David. Like oil, it's a tricky business. Oil drillers, what's the incentive to go drill more oil? If prices are low and Trump wants to refill at low prices, you know, he's a business guy, right? Trying to take care of the country. You don't want to refill at high prices. Drillers like high prices. Strategic Petroleum Reserve likes low prices, at least from a business perspective. So we got to be careful on getting too bullish on oil. And as you see, oil pulling back today. So Kimberly, my favorite subscriber in the chat. Love you as always. And this is interesting. Nasdaq didn't push above that morning, or I guess the yesterday high, until right at the close. This makes it interesting. This morning I thought we might do a double take and retest, but it turns out we didn't. We came up here, we kind of bounced off, retraced, and then closed above right there, right at the end of the day. Interesting. Volatile day yesterday, even though the market was closed. So volatile day. Last night, look at that back test. Perfect. Almost perfect hit right there. We broke out over here. Right there. Broke out. Chopped around. Popped on Monday. Came back as the executive orders were being signed when they were putting them on TV and stuff. And then overnight, rallied up. Dropped out this morning. Freak everybody out. And potentially confirming that we're going higher. That's the 618 level. Right there. That pink line right there. Looks kind of red, pink. It's fuchsia, I guess. Right there, that's the 618. We've been having trouble getting through it on the Nasdaq. Getting above it. That'll be bullish. Market will be back open in about 47 minutes. Math is hard. And we'll see what happens. If we start popping, good. If we start dropping, we could get a third move down. This is the cautionary point in my update here. This whole thing, erase this over here. Be very clear here. This move down from there to there, this move up could be a retrace of that right there. This move up. We could in fact, see if this turns down, and it could rally a little bit higher. We want to see it above. I'll show you a second. So if it turns down, we could rally right down here. And look at where this happens to be. Look at the daily. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that. This is a key area right here. And we want to get above that prior high right there. Right over there. Got to get above that. Confirm we're going higher. Break out new high price. Holding this right there. If you haven't been here, you haven't seen me talk before, you're brand new, whatever. Holding that breakout. Maybe breakout. Holding that breakout. Look, we broke out from this high all the way back here in July. We broke out. Had a little trouble. Went on up. And right there, we retested 1, 2, 3 times. Tried to break below once. got rejected. Tried to break through twice. Got rejected. Lower high. Came down for the final test, and we ground on that level 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days. That's a pretty strong level right there. Now, if we turn down here, we got to get through that, and then we'll go right down there, probably bottom out. But we broke through on this bounce. It's the initial positive sign. We back tested it on that low time frame last night. We back tested it a couple times. Once right there, another time right there. And this was like a no bearish, bears were giving up. This right here was a definitive retest right there. Tried once more, got a higher low. This price action is very overlapped, so I don't like it. But just price action standpoint, we're almost. I just hope it's not a trap. Like, could be a trap. Could be a fake out and we drop. So I wasn't really doing much of anything today. Just kind of sit on my hands, watching, trying to catch up with what's happening, trying to stay ahead of it, trying to get a game plan for where we're going. Just not sure. This is a dangerous zone. We're not breaking out. We're not breaking down. We could break out. We could break down. It's a dangerous spot. All right. Once we confirm, all good to the upside. Or once we confirm, back below the trend line, probably going on that deeper retrace. Russell, also kind of in a no man's land here. We possibly could rally on a little higher in Russell. Watch for this resistance zone. If we get above it, going cruising higher, right up here, probably 2,500. That might take us to a new all-time high on Russell. We haven't been to a new all-time high since the correction in 2021 started. Small business been suffering. Be careful. All right. Can we take it on up? Maybe. We haven't been able to close up there at new all-time highs. So be careful. Oil looks like we're on a path to at least retest this daily roadmap line. If you don't know what the roadmap line is, you've never seen it before, you're brand new here, maybe you've been following me just a little bit, but you've heard me mention it, but you're just not sure what the devil it is. You go to my homepage, my YouTube homepage, right down underneath me over here. Click on my name, go to my YouTube homepage. Pinned to that is a video on the market roadmap. Like, it's kind of like my favorite indicator, me pointing to that or orange line or big arrows or something. And watch that video. You can watch it and it'll tell you, it'll give you the code. Like, you're like, I don't like paying for stuff. Cool. I give it to you for free. Now, if you're like, I don't code, how do you, I don't code. I don't know how to do that. I'm an old dog. I don't want to learn a new trick. Cool. I got an easy button. Links in the description right down below me. Click the more button underneath the video, expand it out. Right there is a link. Easy button. $5. $5. Seriously, 5, not 500, not 50, $5. I give you an easy button. You can click it, put this right on your chart, get training videos, get a weekly watch list of stuff that's actually bouncing off of it, all for $5. It's a pretty good deal, I think. I mean, less than Starbucks, $9 coffee, $10 coffee these days. I don't know. Seen crazy expensive coffee. So I expect CL to come right back down to the daily roadmap line right there. It works on all time frames, works on all. It's kind of uncanny how well it works. When we breach it, then it turns into support. It's a support resistance line. It's based on EMAs. It's pretty simple, but it's odd how it works. Dawn was, fascinated by it yesterday. We went into kind of like an origin story during our Termite Trading Lab session yesterday. Brent also looks like it might be coming back for a retest. Gasoline. Trying to break out. Trying. It's kind of turned down at the prior high. Right over here. Turn down. That looks like a head and shoulders failure right there. Let's see. Pull that up. Broke through the neckline somewhere over here. Oh, it got really close. And look at that. Possibly some more upside. So that was well, it depends on where you put it, I guess. If that was the point you would go off of, that was a rejection. Head and shoulders rejection. Tried to break down, rejected right up. Pretty much played out. I don't find those to be terribly highly reliable. They fascinate me to no end when I see these patterns. It's like when I look at the market, I see patterns. Head and shoulders pattern fascinates me to no end, but when a lot of people see it, it tends to not work. I kind of found that to be the case. So heating oil here, uh-oh. This looks like it's coming back for the roadmap line. And then can lead to that higher target right up in there. Around $283. Wrongiver's not going to be happy. He drives a diesel vehicle. Heating oil is diesel fuel, in case you've not caught on. This looks like we're going to retest this uptrend of lows. If we hold it, we could go one more time, possibly hit that 481 area is what I would expect on the next pop. If we're going to pop it, 481 right in there. And then I would expect us to go down to the roadmap lines sometime by March. A retrace by March is just typically what we see if we're going to get a bounce. So now if we break through the downtrend of our uptrend of lows, roadmap line is where we're going first. And then maybe something more sinister, more deep down in this area around 230. Remember, natural gas is pretty, this one's quick to put on the market. You can drill natural gas wells pretty quick, and you can put natural gas on and off the market pretty easily. Unlike oil, natural gas easier to come up with. So be careful on that one. All right. Gold. I like where your head's at, gold. Trying to confirm the breakout. It'd be really nice to see if we can get this move above that high right there. Trying. Stopped here for 3 days. It's an important level. If we can get above it, and we back tested the breakout here today. So we did basically my favorite kind of breakout pattern where we make lower highs, we break out, we retest it. That's a bullish signal right there. Now, the only thing stopping me from being super bullish on gold right now is silver. I like it when they're kind of flying together. See the problem here? Silver didn't break out. Really want to see this get broken out, get above this. So this pullback right here, this last move, one move, two moves, three moves, the third move here, the retrace of it is that 618 level, and we've been holding it pretty darn tight right there. That's 618 right there. You're that high, run to that low, run the fib retrace, that 618 level hitting right there. Right at the downtrend too. Like, come on. Now, if this can break through, get above the bigger 618 of the bigger retrace from here all the way to here, that level coming in right there at 3260 and change. We get above that, which is right there where that prior high is. Probably going on up. I'm going to say $60 is my target. But I'm not holding my breath yet. Need some confirmation. this was okay. This double bottom situation, that was okay. Busting up through the roadmap line, back testing, good. Holding the downtrend, not good. So I want that to break on out. You may be like, how can you trade silver? SI, I don't even know how you trade that. SLV, that's one way to trade. One way to do it, you can trade gold if you want. GLD, ugly, ultra gold, leverage gold, AGQ, leverage silver. All these ways to play. All of them kind of doing the same thing. We get this downtrend of highs and a failure to break out right there. Scrape the bottom of target like that, then retraced. Come on, AGQ. I'm gonna set an alert here. Set another one right there, just in case I'm sleeping. All right, I want to see that bust on through. We can see this one. This one could go up quite a bit. You can see stuff up in $100 area. Take it from 40 to 100. That'd be pretty spicy. I like it. All right, Bitcoin, I usually hit on. Rallying strong at the end of the day. Still sitting at that 105 level, though. Even though it says 106.4 right now, that's still the vicinity of 105. We're not getting continuation yet. Come on. I need this to get out of here. Go and get. I'd love to see this rally right on. This could go fast, too. It could go right up to this 122 level. I'd love it to go up there and sit and hang out. That's what I'd like to see. Hang out up there. Let's go on higher. Quit messing around here where it could potentially drop out to the roadmap line. Let's go on higher. Ethereum, on the other hand, a little more bearish, a little more nasty. Not even hinting at being, it's kind of like gold and silver, right? I mean, that one not even hinting at being bullish and may go lower. Be careful. All right, we're to that time of the day where I take requests. I'll take requests at least 30 minutes. The channel subscribers, or channel members, green names on the list with the stars beside them, have priority. You type in all caps, give me a ticker. I'll go through, hit all of the channel members first, and then circle back around if I have time. I'll pick up people that aren't channel members. All right? I do appreciate channel members, and this is one of your big benefits is you get to be priority on 30 minutes of awesome. All right? So BTI, dun, 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 British Tobacco. All right, that's the first move down. That's a retrace. Looks like a 618. Pretty close. Oh, 76. Yeah, I would be very careful. So the roadmap line is support. It's holding a higher low. But if it starts breaching, we're going to come right down in this area. Be careful. That's, this is support, and then this is support below that, right down in this 30 area, 32, 33. Now, on the upside, if we could possibly break out above this prior high over here, upside targets 40, 41 maybe, somewhere in there, possibly up to 43. That would be what I expect right there. All right. Be careful. Celsius. I bought 100 shares of this. Sold upside call, which I need to sell a new one because that expired last week. Where did I buy it? I bought it right there, I think. Slightly underwater. Not really doing anything. Just messing around. Not looking very spicy. Not looking very exciting. I bought 100 shares just to see if we get below 20. I might bail on them. That's kind of the line in the sand. I want it to hold this area. Could dip down to here. I need to see it break out. I'm gonna probably sell another upside call. My upside call I sold before was at 36. Probably go out a couple months and sell another 36. See what happens. Now this could pop really quick. I mean, look, when this thing goes on a tear, it just giddy up and go. So selling 36 could be dangerous for my long-term hold. As long as it holds this 618 level, this general area right here, this is a measured bounce potential, which kicks us off for a target somewhere in this 200 to 300, maybe even as high as 700, which would be absolutely insane move to get in at 20 bucks and ride it up to 700. Absolute insane. And that's why I put 100 shares on it. Why didn't I put 1,000 shares on it? I'm not that confident until we start breaking above the roadmap line. I get more confident here once we break above. I get more confident when we break above the 618. I get even more confident as we keep climbing higher. What's an example of something that's doing this? Look at this chart right here. I got in. This one, I bought 1,000 shares back here. I was pretty confident on this one. Bought 1,000 shares here. And look at where we are today. Same kind of pattern. Ho, ho, ho. Coming right up into the golden zone, right up in there. We might be able to extend this one all the way up to 210. And I bought in where? Down here at 30. Sounds a lot, very similar to Celsius, right? CELH. Very similar. I would love to see that. That would be beautiful right there. I might buy more shares. Not sure yet. SMLR. Well, not really doing much. Didn't really bounce. Just not really much to see here yet. We're supposedly doing the same thing as MSTR, but they're just sitting at that 618 level. It has a gap down right over there. Kind of goes to show you, like, doesn't really matter what you're doing with your company. Price action kind of matters. Sitting there in the resistance. If we can get through, get a move up through above this area here, and go on up. Maybe up to 180, 240. If we get continuation back down below the roadmap line, this could go make a new low, lower than 19. That's a big range. You betcha. Be careful trading that stuff. And skip the chat. I love it when I do that. Hit the roller one too many clicks and it jumps all the way to the bottom. All right, Adobe still got the same path. Nothing changed. Nothing, There's that, and then there's that. Possible we bottomed out. I kind of looking at it from the bigger picture here. Kind of feel like we need to go make a lower low than this low we made back in 22. Clean out all this junk because it's just been overlappy chopping. Now it could hold here and break out. That'd be cool, but I'd like it better if we went down here. Just the way it is. Sobo. Not enough candles to really do anything. It's just choppiness. Gnarly choppiness. Come back when we got a few months worth. Oh, I can draw a roadmap line at least. And more than a little piece like on what we see on Reddit. RDDT. Reddit, we just get a little piece of a roadmap line, like a month long and almost 2 months now, and not much I can do with that. So we need more candles for Sobo. XRP is dangerous. Right in the target zone. Possible? There's a possibility we could take this up to $6 to $7. There's also a strong possibility we can retrace this back down to the roadmap line. Be very careful here. Very careful. Know where your limits are. GE, hey, confirmation. 200, 205 are the upside targets there. And next one up, let's see, SMR. Potential that bounced at a lower time frame, 4-hour bounce. Get the confirmation on the close above the 618, 35, 38, and then watch out for the next retrace. Now the last one over here. Use it as kind of an example. We rallied up to the 618, the 1618. The one before that, well, we rallied up to the 1272. So That one, 1272. That one, 1618. Next one, probably maybe 1272. That would be what I would expect. Right in there. Could get to the 1618. That'd be pretty spicy, but 35. I wouldn't expect much more than 47 though before we get another one of these retraces. Done it 3 times there. 1, 2, 3. Just, you know, not even the last year. So what would make you think we're not going to do it again? Alrighty. SOXL. Still nasty. Be careful. That doesn't change anything for me. That's still very bearish. Very bearish. The daily chart, still right there at the resistance. We've checked that once. Actually checked it once up here. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. This will be like the 6th or 7th time, however you count it. Nothing indicating we're breaking out yet. Be careful on leverage. And Tesla. Yeah, like I said, be careful on the 3D chess game going on here. Doing away with that EV credit. Probably bullish for Tesla, not bearish. You know, this morning we were taking it back hard. We do have earnings coming up right here. This is a pattern to launch off 500 easy, 600 for the extension. And things can get crazy, but let's be conservative. 500, all right? That's all I really expect. 526 before we do another retrace. This is a lower time frame. Gosh, 1 hour bounce. Yeah, 1 hour bounce. That can play out pretty quickly, and we get another retrace. Alrighty, coming up on BA. Doing the thing I wanted to see. Didn't really. Well, it's debatable whether that closed above that 618 or not. Debatable. I don't think Apollo's gonna pick that up. Yeah. The daily chart system may pick it up. The TradingView version won't pick that up. Let me see. Has it come out on Discord yet? Holy dang. This might be the biggest daily list we've had in a while. Holy moly. That's a lot of trades. Termite Trading Lab people. That is a lot of tickers. Wow. It's going to be like 60, 70 trades, I bet, for tomorrow. Holy. Oh, didn't pick up. Yeah, BA didn't make it to the list. Didn't make it. So Termite Trading Labs, we have a scanner that scans through almost 4,000 tickers that move a quarter, basically a quarter point or more a day, and looks for this roadmap pattern setting up with what it's specifically looking for is this high above the roadmap line, this low below the roadmap line, and this close above the 618 when you run a fib line from that high to that low. It looks for the daily close above that to kick off a potential entry. I mean, because that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the conservative entry, and then it tells you all the data like the target. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, Termite Trading Lab has that tool available. Nobody else has it. All right, that's BA for you. It's still pumping out. More and more trades still coming out. SPXL confirming today. SR confirming today. All right, already did Celsius, DLTR. And like I said, I'm going to hit all of the... I just hit in the wrong chat window. DLTR. Already, I'm going to hit all the members down to the bottom. And then once I get there, I'll circle back and catch everybody else I can. DLTR, resistance still right here. Dun, dun, dun. BA, already did. Carvana, CVNA. Bounce. We closed above. It's possible that this rallies on up. Now, this trade, not the most bangingest trade right here on this ticker. 100% profitable. 5 trades in the history. I don't know. It's not much history. We could get a few losers in here pretty quickly. I do own a put. It is out to 2027. Just one. It's out of the money, severely out of the money. It's going to take a big drop off. And Hindenburg, one of their last reports was on Carvana before they basically decided they're going to shut down. So be careful chasing that one. Meta. Got earnings coming up here next week on the 29th. Be careful. That right there looks like she wants to retrace back to the roadmap line to me. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Speaking of earnings, and let's check out Netflix. Man, what did I say this morning? We might get a little pop and then drop out to the roadmap line. That's exactly what it looked like we're going to do. We popped up, and that looks like we're going to down there. Postmark is up higher, though. 993. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's all we needed. 993. Next resistance, 1046. Post market right there. I don't know. We'll see. Resistance on up there, 1046. On up, even higher, 1700. Not bad. Take a while to get there, but not bad. Depends on how long-term you are, on how bullish you are on Netflix. Now, typically we'll see, we already popped up, retraced. Didn't even retrace to the breakout, so that's pretty bullish. Pop up, may retrace a little bit, and then we go zoom it on up to those higher levels. Netflix could get pretty crazy. How crazy? 1700 crazy. Be careful. All right. SC. Got resistance levels here, 618 at 148. Haven't been down to the roadmap line in a while. Be careful. It's been back since August. Yeah, August seemed like it was just a short while ago. Now it's starting to be like getting close to 6 months ago. Golly. Watch out for retrace to the roadmap line. That's best I can offer at this point. Just be careful. Lunar. And they sent another lander to the moon. I don't even remember. I can't even keep track of these guys. Let's see. Space stock rising following Trump's vow to send Americans to Mars. Lone Star moonshot. Blah blah blah. 2 other machines compete. Lunar lander. Yeah. Yeah, I think they sent something else to the moon, but resistance right where we are, possibly 34, possibly 65. I don't know. Somewhere down here, we're going to pull back roadmap line at least. And if we get below that, come down back to the lows. I'd be careful. Careful chasing it there. And XLM, USD. Can I remove my own comment? No. Oh well. Stellar Lumens, that's a first move down, a retrace. I would expect another move down. Just being straight up. Look at the price action that turned down at the key level where I would expect it to turn down. That was a 3-wave move up. Well, maybe 5. I don't know. That's subjective on what that is. If it gets continuation, roadmap line, right there. Then we bounce, or possibly we just retrace a little bit here, hold a higher low, and bounce on higher, and then get that move up there. I don't know. It's getting really weird. This one not anywhere close to all-time highs, so underperforming Bitcoin at this point. Lagging way behind. All right. Shopify. Retrace the roadmap line. That would be what I expect right there. Still kind of on the path. Earnings coming up here another couple weeks. So be careful. All right, I'll go back up to the top. Now that I hit the bottom, channel members, you're just like everybody else now that I've hit the bottom. And you had your chance. I'll hit everybody from the top to the bottom on non-channel members. And we'll see. See if I get it right. Apple, down below the roadmap line. Be careful. This can turn into something more deep and sinister here. Yeah. Don't have a lot to offer here. We were on kind of an accelerated climb. And we broke below. It's not too good for the long term. If you run that final move, hunting for any kind of extra support here. Roll with it one more time. If we're going to continue lower, I would want to see this 195, 197 area hold right in here. If we can't just turn it around. Now, law of big numbers. $3.48. That one gave it back a little bit. 3.448, 3.348. Seeing some struggling here. Getting above 3.5 trillion. We're just not seeing companies able to get above $3.5 trillion. Now, think about it. You know, you're like, man, Apple, it's a lock. It's going to go up. It's going to double. What does it take for Apple to double at this point? For the price to go from 222 to 444? It takes $3.348 trillion. Where does $3.348 trillion come from? That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you. And that's why I think the upside is limited for anything sitting on the screen right now. Even gold. It's going to have a tough time climbing to 5,000. Climbs to 5,000, that's $36 trillion. Where does 18 more trillion dollars come from? That's a good question. Good question. So be careful. All right. Apple, let's go struggle. Like the upside is limited when you're sitting in the $3 trillion club. It just is. That's just the way it's going to be. Walmart's potential to retrace the roadmap line. This has been all the way since December of last year. Over a year since we've been out there. It's time. Time for a retrace. Watch out. MU. Did not break above that zone yet. There's the resistance. There's the support. We're testing resistance one more time. If you think it's going to break out and be a big upside, MUU. God, I meant to buy that. I still meant to buy that at $20. It even gave me a chance to buy it. And I don't even remember. I just don't even think about it. After I talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get into this. And then I just totally forget. This stuff does have a downtrend of highs cooking, so be careful. Now, going back to the MU charts, that's the same sort of setup. Potential measured bounce. We're talking about years-long pattern. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, 35, 20, 35 we're talking. Possible to be up here. 3, 4, 500. Not bad. Nice potential. All right. BA already covered. Similar. Do you still like OIS trade? I don't know which trade OIS trade is. What do you think about SU? I think SU is a company. I think you're talking about the daily setup trade we had. Okay, there were 125 Tiggers on the list today. Holy dang. Wow. 125 daily setups. Talk about a list. All right. I think you were talking about the bonus trade from Discord. Probably one of the morning shows. Helps to have reference to what you're talking about when you ask a question. I don't even have there's the bonus channel. Yeah, OIS was from the 15th. So let's see, 15th. About a week ago. That's like 1, 2, 1 trading day, 2 trading days, 3 trading days, you know, basically 4 trading days ago. So OIS. Looks like it's on the path. Target's right there at 6. Yeah, 603. Looks like it's going to work out. Not very much upside left. Would I still get into it? I never got into it, so that was just a potential trade. When I say I'm getting into a trade, I'll usually post if I get in with my order, and I never did. So I don't typically play stuff under $10. Just not typically the way I play. Sometimes I do, but not typically. And what do you think about SU? What do you think about SU? You got to give me your opinion. NEM. Where NEM? Coming up. Back to the roadmap line. If we get above it, going higher. Target's still in the $60 to $80 area for now. Right up here. That's where I expect us to head. Probably out to the end of the year. FTNT. Hey, thanks for being a channel member, Clarence. Thanks for joining. FTNT coming up into resistance. We might be able to push it on higher. That's a measured bounce. It's one of those measured bounce things. Back there, and 122 might be the upside. We're kind of stalled at this 1272. If we push it on up, 122 right there. I was talking about the 127.2%, 98 area right there where we're consolidating. If we can push through that, 122 at the 161.8% target. We may retest the back. We may come back and retest the breakout before we can rally up there. Measured bounces are a little bit different than just roadmap bounces. So pins was looking pretty bad. Still not looking super spicy. Lower highs, still under the roadmap line. Still downward bias until we can break out of this funk. May still make a lower low. Potential for this to be a measured bounce, but we didn't actually fully hit the 618, which gives me the high confidence that we're going to move on. Oh, maybe it, yeah, it did. Right. Actually, I say that it actually did hit right there. Too zoomed out to see that little bitty spike right there. Gap down, hit it. Could be done. Could be a measured bounce. If it is, potential upside right up there, 80. But if it breaks down, potential downside down here at 12. Ugh. Rough. DVN, Delta Victor November. Potential resistance right there. We didn't even touch it. Starting to pull back. We can make a lower low. That's the key resistance right there. We get above it. We can talk some upside targets. But right now, potential to extend lower. I know there's a lot of old fibs on those charts. There's not really much to suggest that we're going higher at this point. Could still go lower. It's been beaten down pretty far from the highs up here at 79. But it could still go lower. If I was a guessing, somewhere break like that might be the absolute bottom. Somewhere in that vicinity. If it was going to turn it around. Right there. Delta Vector, November. All right. MRK to the upside. I don't got any upside. Down, down, down. MRK is going down. Sorry. I would not be bullish on MRK, Carla. Sorry. Not yet. UNH. Yeah, that's a nasty indication right there that we might go lower. Back to that low over there. And if we get below that low, probably coming down here. That could be played out right now. We did a big big up and a final little push. That can roll. Be careful. UNH might not be a good trade for a while. Uklo. Dang. Some stuff just defies gravity. And that pop, without, I mean, that little baby retrace and that just, yeah. Not much I can do here. Kind of hitting resistance at the 30, 32 area. Might pop on up to 38 at this point. But it also might come back to the supports. Roadmap line supports. Pushing on up may result in that. Right in there. It might. It doesn't have to. I mean, these things can keep being irrational way longer than you can, stay selling or wait for, things. Things can stay going lower. It's like MRK. Does it have to turn around? No. This can keep going lower. It can come all the way down here. This can keep bleeding off. 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 And keep being stupid. So don't bet on it until it's doing the things. Unless you've got a real strong conviction that this is the bottom. Then make sure you know where you're wrong. Have your stop out level. Like the one I talked about earlier on Celsius. I'm gonna bail if we get down here below 20. Probably cut it and say, heck with you, Celsius. Cut it. Be moving on. Seat. That right there, it has all the makings of what I call the dumpster fire pattern, except it's missing a reverse split, and it's under 10 bucks. So I don't trade this. Like, that pattern is a dangerous pattern, and you're highly likely to lose money. Now, can it turn around and go higher? Sure. What would it take for me to get more bullish on this? First off, I need it above like 10 bucks. A move up, a retrace, and then a breakout. That would be more bullish. And ideally, I'd like to see some constructive price action like this, where we're actually making higher highs and holding higher lows that don't overlap. That's bullish price action. This is the potential to lose your money when this thing plummets out to zero. Be careful. They barely make money. Don't know what they do, but this is not the environment to be screwing around, not barely making money. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Avalanche. It's not been looking too hot. Probably going lower. Sitting on the roadmap line. Not looking too great. Might be on a trip down lower. Fed now. Might be on life support. More potential to bounce here. Wasn't really doing much today in the face of crypto. Kind of potentially maybe going to go higher. Just sitting there stuck. Gonna have to confirm above that. Confirm above that. And then 32, 35 are the potential targets for now. That's the daily setup we got. All right. High, low. I wouldn't expect it to do anything right now. The actual, like, there's the resistance, 20. Here's the support, 17. What do I expect it to do? That. 17, 20. That's what it's doing right now. DOCS, retrace back to the roadmap line would be what I expect. CCJ. Oops. Hit an extra button. That high, that low. We break back above this zone right there. Looking for 64, possibly 66 on the upside. Nice potential right there. That's a nice potential trade. Market's back open. Alrighty. EWG. Germany. Yeah. Nice pop. Rumor is that Trump's going to be bullish for Europe. That's what we're seeing right there. 34, 35, 36. Upside targets on that bounce. Now, this thing has a habit of making that high and then plummeting out. So be careful. Up fast, down fast. Be careful. ASML. Still expect this to go down to the bottom of the box. Still under resistance. There's the resistance level. We get above it. We can start talking about upside trades, but then we got the 618 up here at 900. We're have to contend with, and I still think this is biased down somewhere around 600 is where I kind of expect it to go. I'm not trading for it. Just I keep saying the same thing week after week after week. I've been saying that since we were right over here, probably in August. Actually, I traded it, what, from right there to 900? And then I've just been sitting waiting. Yeah, I bought at 600, got out at 900, I think it was. I've just been waiting. Waiting for the setup again. It just doesn't, there's nothing. No setup for me. AAL. Going up into that resistance. Prior high. Be careful. That can turn down. Somebody I know that works for American says that there's no reason that this should be this high. The numbers internal look pretty bad. Be careful. We might get a retrace. My connection. He's not on the executive team, so he's just talking. Just a guy that flies. You might know him. BitX, possibly 83, possibly my target at 120. If Bitcoin can actually stick the breakout. Already back below 106. You see that right there, right? See this number? Not sticking above 106. Still churning 105. Come on, Bitcoin. Get your crap together. Now, if that's not bullish, we may drop all the way back to 42. CRDO. Potential to rally on up. This one not really got much working for it, but all these bounces are way exceeded. Possibly resistance at 120, maybe. That's just a wild guess right there. FXY. Go short some yen. Yeah, let's see. Nope, other way. I like to just go look at the yen. Dang, look at that. We hit that. I don't remember when I charted that. Well, that's bullish. Actually, that's a measured bounce. Now, it might retrace before it can break on out. Right there. So we've got support on the yen right there. And upside potential. Drew that perfectly. Potential. Let's see. Back to FXY. So if that happens, I guess this would keep going down. It's kind of inverse. Very gappy. Hard to... It just basically looks like the dumpster fire chart. And let's see. That low, that high. Yeah, we already Already came down, bouncing. We bounce again. Push down in the 56 area, maybe down to 55. It's hard to tell on that one. Hard to tell. It's not a very liquid chart. URA still has potential for 46. Maybe a little. Yeah, 46. 42 to 50. Yeah, still the same target area between 40 and 50. AMD. How long? Could take forever. Like, could take 3 more years. And still didn't quite fully hit. I mean, it scraped the top of my target area at 115. But I want to see this come on down. Get that measured bounce right there. 95 ideally. Could go as low as 85. We just hit the top right there. I'd love to see it come down a little more. Been waiting for that for over a year. This is all the way over here. Been waiting for this. Wait some more. SFM. That's a lower high at this point. Post market. If that turns down right there, it's a 1 move down, a retrace, and we can get the second move down right into that. Right there. Be careful on that one. Sprouts. Dun dun dun. QCOM is still in the zone. There's the resistance. Very similar to MU. There's the resistance. There's the support. Failing to break down. Failing to break out. If we do break out, we could rally right up here. 300-400. Right there. Very similar to MU, but not doing it. MCD. Looking kind of bad. We're below the roadmap line. Red lights are flashing. This can come right back down to the lows. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Potential to find support right here in the zone, maybe a little lower at 270. I don't know. Just because Trump loves McDonald's doesn't mean it's going higher yet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. ACHR. Archer Aviation. That's an initial move down. Potential to come back up to that 618 at 10. And then make another move down. 1, 2, 3. Back to the roadmap line. Possibly. BTBT. Just chopping around. Not really breaking out. Not really breaking down. We're kind of stuck in this box right here. I don't think that all the crypto miners are going to do squat until we get to the 115 to 125 area. 115 to 125,000 on Bitcoin. And if we fail to do that, I don't think the miners are going to recover. IBN. Well, that looks like it's flushing. Potential to hold support on this prior low. If we get below that, there's not much there. So possibly we get down in this area. It's not one I would mess with right there. Crisp. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Biotech, pharma. Be careful on biotech. Nasty. Nasty charts. Yeah. It's choppy sideways, making a lower low. They can just keep doing like this crap right here. It's just a heartbeat. You know? Boop, 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 boop. I mean, you could trade it, but not the way I trade. CVX, Charlie Victor X-ray. It's getting cold in here. My hands are getting cold. I'm gonna have to go here in a few minutes. Charlie Victor X-ray. If we can break through that prior high up here, if we're just faking out again down here. MSTX is MSTR with leverage. So MSTR potential to go to 1,000 from the current level. That would be roughly, let's see, 388 in the post. There. Potentially 161% upside. So MSTX, roughly 300% upside from where we are. There. So, yeah, ballpark 180, 300 target. 250, 300, somewhere in there. Ballparking. Somewhere in that zone. Possibly out to October. Right like that. Now, if it fails, remember that's 2x leverage, and this could just be the first move down, the retrace to the 618. That high, that low. 618 resistance right there. We could turn down viciously and make a lower low back down around 20. Be careful. Arm. Now that would, yeah, MSTX leverage. MSTX. And that leverage went with this one right here. Leverage. 2x leverage. Be careful on leverage. Back to arm. So very solid resistance right there. Very solid support right there. And we're probably just going to continue sideways like I drew months ago. Eventually, we're going to retrace that pop. Could make a higher high before we do it. Eventually, we're going to retrace it. And RX. Sounds like pharmaceutical crap to me. Garbage sideways. Stay in the box. IONQ. Nice retrace. Didn't do a daily bounce. So let's see what we got. See what we got. 4-hour bounce. That high, that low. Probably resistance somewhere in this zone right here. And then maybe another retrace. Now it could, could do an echo and do a protracted, extended upside, but starting to get up in bigger numbers that probably not, that doesn't have a history of just doing that. So be careful. If you see another one of these, it could result in a long retrace that repeat over here. I mean, look, the reason I warn about this, that move, and that move, very similar in size, just slightly bigger. Do another one of those right there. That'd be rough. I don't like sitting through stuff like that, so be careful. FLNG, Lex Ling. Wow. That's might make a lower low. See how this has come down. Let me look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What makes you think this time's different? Don't trade that stuff. Ugh. Ugh. That was a scary chart. SYM still in a downtrend. UPS still in a downtrend. I mean, look how many times it's hit the roadmap line. Same as, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, not for me. BRKB. Potential we get above that 471, 499, 500. GRKBBK. Green Brick Partners. That's under the roadmap line. Do I think it's done correcting? Nothing says it is. Potential to go on further down. Be very careful. That could come right back down to this zone right in here. Oh, look at that. Right where I had a support already drawn. Looked at this before. Looked at this many years ago, apparently. And potential for this to come right back down and retest that zone. Then turn up and be positive. Be careful on green brick. New member, do you day trade? Yeah, I have a day trade thing, so I do occasionally day trade. It's not my big, I'm not a big day trader. NVNO. Discord's where I chit chat with members. So tag me on Discord, ask me the questions you guys want to ask. That's medical stuff. So 4 things don't commonly follow patterns. Low price stuff under $10. This happens to be under $10. Biotech, pharma, anything the Food and Drug Administration of the United States gets involved in, that just happens to be applicable here. So that's 2 out of the 4 things. The other 2, leverage stuff. That's why I have a button for it. That's why I have a button for biotech here. Also, this is medical specialty, biotech type stuff. And the 4th thing is China. So those 4 things commonly don't follow the pattern. So be careful chasing NVNO. I don't even find it worth my time to chart at the moment. Elf Beauty, still respecting the roadmap line. And probably going to make a lower low. At least retest that 618 again. Glad I have not put any money on that. Keeps reaffirming with me that I'm glad I never put any money on it. After losing my butt, what, 2 years ago? How long was it? Yeah. Back in 23. Getting to me a year and a half ago. Over here, I put money on this, ran out of time, and then it went on to hit the targets and then some. If I bought more time, it would have been very lucrative. I ran out of time, and now, heck with Elf. Neo, going lower. SCHW. Yeah, still the same target I said this morning, probably. I think it was 84, 86. Cats. Still the same setup right there. 428, possibly 438. FL. Potential downside, somewhere around 18 for Foot Locker. Just hadn't been able to get out of its own way. Kind of like Nike. Nike and Foot Locker, kind of in the same boat. I suspect when Nike turns around, Foot Locker turns around. When Foot Locker turns around, Nike turns around. MTH. That could develop into something more deep. That broke through the downtrend or uptrend of lows there. Kind of coming up to back test. It might go lower. Be very careful on that. Solana. Trade Nation. You're probably looking for a sold dollar. There's my target, 462. Already hit. TKO. Watch for the retrace back to the roadmap line. Possible 166, 180. XOVR. And not much to, there's no charting here. There's no roadmap line. There's no nothing. Nothing to, that's an investment in SpaceX. That's all it is. You got to buy and hope. There's no charting at this point. You're going to have to wait. ALB. That's what I was afraid of. Turning down at the roadmap line. Possible to go lower. Tesla already did. Netflix already did. Zoom. I skipped MMM. Sorry. Zoom. Lower low. MMM. It's a downtrend. Let's try 3Ms. There we go. resistance right up here, and then retrace would be my expectation. ABT, I thought I already did that one. No, ALB, all right, I'm pretty sure I did ALB already. Yeah. Amble Marble. Move down, retrace, hold under the roadmap line, watch for the next move down. Back to the lows. Nothing confirms that yet. TSLA already did, NFLX already did, ZM already hit, BTBT already hit, AVGO. There's nothing. Watch for the retrace. That's just kind of hanging. It's lower highs. Watch for the retrace to the roadmap line. ABT. And maybe a roadmap bounce. Gonna have to get above that 117 area. Kick off the 122 and put bigger potential up here. If that was the measured bounce and there's just an intermediate bounce, bigger potential 150 up here. Now this target could take a lot longer. Like how much longer? We could do a couple more retraces, possibly be out in late 25, early 26, 27. I don't know. All right. That's the other list. Got to the bottom. Be like water. I'll see you in the morning. I'll be back live 9:15 tomorrow morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll go through, look for stuff moving, opportunities for the day. Try to come up with a bias, see what's cooking, what's cracking, lacking, what Trump might have done overnight, and talk about it all over. Do it again. Thanks for coming.